All right, I'm gonna start opening the rest of the shop so we can spend a day in the shop. Fixing cars, fun, exciting adventures of all kinds. Making things happen, making it work. Trying to finish up this Dodge Charger today. Oh, hello, sunshine. How you doing? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're gonna have a great day today, or you did have a great day today, depending on when you're watching this. If you saw yesterday's video, we got a Dodge Charger to finish up. We're close. We got probably an hour's worth of work before we started up. Put the intake on, get some fluids in it, oil and transmission. Then we should be ready to go. Got to hook up the battery, of course. Joe's doing a turbo. I think they got a junkyard turbo for this car. I guess Jace did a hub bearing. Okay. But that's not what we're doing. We're going to focus on this and see what else we can get done today. We're going to have some other things going on, I hope. Waiting on another ECU for the Honda. Slightly muggy, around 77, 78 degrees this morning. I think the 350Z and the semi were racing. It's hard to tell. Whew, a lot going on. All I can tell you is we're going to learn things. We're going to have fun. So you definitely got to stay tuned. Let's finish getting this place open up. Let's do it. All right. First things first, I wanted to point out that I had slid this too far forward because it was going to just about touching this cross member brace or whatever you want to call that. I remember I mentioned the tips yesterday. If you saw that video, they weren't quite in the stainless guards for the bumper, so I had to move it back about that much so that it wasn't in the wrong place. I didn't think it was possible to slide it on too far. You would think this indent would keep that from happening, but I'm glad I readjusted a little bit. So now the exhaust is really good. I thought it was good yesterday. I think I'm going to hold off on the under trays so we have it running and make sure everything's good. I'm going to clean some of this off. Kind of strange too, we had a meeting this morning. They said we're no longer going to have assigned bays, so it's a free-for-all. Anyone uses whatever bay they want. I don't know how that's going to work, but I mean, Joe's using my bay right now because I'm out here. I guess I shouldn't call it my bay anymore. Joe's using the number 3 bay. So I don't, there's 8 bays and 4 guys. I don't know why the bay in front of your toolbox shouldn't be your primary bay, but whatever. You guys understand that? Let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe I just don't like change. That's probably what it is. I gotta clean some of this off so you don't see any of this, don't see drips on the ground. Let's get it down and put that intake back on. And don't forget, we put the manifold on. We got this hose back here, we got a connector back there. Everything else is pretty straightforward, so got to clean this up a little bit. Now, I think it might be a little easier to get to that hose before I set it all the way back. And the leg didn't do too well last time. I had to jump off the engine, but I'll be a little more cautious this time. Sometimes I go too far to give you guys a great show. Yeah. He said the sign bays are just stupid. I'm like, well, the most efficient place to work is right in front of your toolbox. But he talked about how we all need to average 75 hours a week. But I worked on 3 cars for free yesterday. Well, an hour and a half for free. I don't know how I'm supposed to hit 75 hours a week working for free. Oh, that's right. Worked 15-hour days. Nope. fuel lines on, injectors. Gotta grab my torque wrench real quick. Get some fluids for this thing. Of course, now the oil is so clean you can hardly see it. Right at the full line. Gotta put I'm gonna put like a quart of transmission fluid in, and then we'll fire it up and check that level. I think all the other fluids should be good. Hook up the battery and fire it up. Now we see if the oil stays in it and the cam timing codes stay away. Going in about 10-15 minutes while I straighten some things up and wipe down my engine cover and all the cool stuff I like to do. It's good. It's nice and dry. I think this one is going to be fixed. The cam timing code will be the only concern now. Of course, I got to take it for a little drive. We did a lot of work. I think we'll be good. I'm going to one more check of the transmission fluid too. We'll see what else we can do today. There's cars in the bay that I normally use, but since it's no longer mine, I'll find a bay somewhere, probably outside. Alright, for my next trick, it's a classic Lexus LX470, I think it is. Luxury SUV. It's like a 2006. It's got a thumping Latin beat V8 in it. 301,000 miles. Customer's waiting. Got a TPMS light on, got a check engine light on, got a traction light on. Let's hop inside and take a look. Get the K8 hooked up, find out why all these pesky lights are on in this thing. Give it a love rating of 3 and go from there. They said that the battery gave them a slow crank, but I don't see a problem with that. It says 90% in the battery test. Needs tires pretty bad, front brakes, wipers, all the regular stuff. We'll see about all the lights. They said they came on last night, but I have a sneaky suspicion they might have been on longer. We'll take a look at that too. We can find that data in our scan tool. I'm gonna find the connector for this and then we'll come back. Let's do a mildly intelligent diag. Well, King Bolin calls it an intelligent diag. I guess it is. I know the machine's smart, not so sure about the operator, but we usually find a way to figure it out. We got a lot of lights on too. Let me tell you what, 301,051. Oil change isn't due for about 3,500 miles or so. 3,449 to be exact. Health report, I'm going to ping all the modules, get all the codes. I'm guessing the sensors are going to have battery low codes. And that'll be the problem. The truck's, it's 2005. I thought it was a 2006, so it's 21 years old. It's a classic. Hot rod stuff basically is where we're headed. It takes a little while. There's a lot of modules and it's a little older, so the modules tend to be slower than the scan tool at this point. When you work on cars probably 2022 and newer, 2021 and newer, then they'll be faster than the scan tool, I would assume. I don't work on a lot of newer cars because we're not a dealership. So we get them when they tend to be 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. Wow, look at the codes. Current history pending. Air injection system switch value, bank 2 stuck closed, current and pending, full 45. Engine immobilizer issue. That's why they said check the battery. I had a hard time starting it. So it's mad about something in the immobilizer. Could be something to do with the key or the lock cylinder, something like that. I'd have to look into that. Secondary air, that's the same code as the other modules. Engine control system, open and squib right hand circuit. So I'll send them this report. I think I've got an hour and a half to figure it all out, but we may end up needing more time. If we can't sort it out in that amount of time, I'll have to stop and get permission to do a little more digging if we don't sort it all out by then. So we'll send in a report and then we'll come back. All right, I wrote down the important codes. A lot of these codes, Toyota's, you know, the systems that support the driver, like traction control, ABS, all those kinds of things. When the engine has codes, then the codes are redundant. There are any other modules that turns all the lights on, scares the heck out of the customer. And they can't be too scared driving around with 300,000 miles on it. I mean, we do have 3 TPMS codes, what I was getting to. So I'll bring up the tire inflation pressure for 1, 2, 3, and 4. and we will show you what it looks like. They're going to have some really random pressure numbers or no pressure. 346.6 kilopascals, not available. 37.5, not available. So ID2 is the only one that's working, and the rest of them, not so much. So what I would do on a vehicle this age is recommend 4 sensors. The batteries go bad just like a watch. So if you've seen my other videos, I might have possibly mentioned that. I do want to look up the primary codes. My concerns are with is a P1445, a B2799, and a C1340. Those are the ones that they're not repetitive in all the modules. They're individual codes per module. I'm gonna look at a couple of flow charts really quick. We'll come back and take a look. A lot of broken plastic, but the switches still work, so that's good. Look at this 2012 Ford Escape. Oh, it's got the clear coolant. I thought it was low. Oil change, rotate tires, and my brother put an AC actuator in, but it still clicks, so he unplugged it. He says it just needs to be calibrated. So that's what we're doing. We got tires off of this Mamma Jamma. We got oil and filtered doing their thing. This thing needs some brakes. Oh boy, they're close. I gotta figure out which actuator needs to be plugged back in so we can try a calibration. I thought on these they auto calibrate, but I'm not sure. I can run it through the paces once they're all plugged back in and see what happens. Sometimes they click because the actuators are defective. Sometimes the doors are broken. So knowing which one helps, because there's like 4 of them.
He's on his way back to Georgia. He's not doing anything. Just go ahead and back it out to Lexus.
Oh, okay.
Got a mechanic in Georgia.
All right.
He's leaving in the morning, so.
All right. Who saw that coming? Well, we got a monster truck out there wanting some tires swapped. And needless to say, it's been out there for a few hours and tickets have been skipping over it, probably waiting for someone in particular to get to it. But anyway, I did find the actuator was unplugged right up there. I plugged it in. We'll see what it does. Crap, baby. That is a heck of a toenail clipping. Woo. See what it does. I hear it. It stopped. Perfect. Let me get the scanner on it and we'll see if there's a calibration for it. Oh, there it goes again. This could have a damaged door or something like that, but we'll put the scanner on it and see what the data looks like. All right, we got feedback codes, mode door, mode door, mode door. Open, shorted to battery, shorted to battery. Interesting that they're the same code but with different designations. A5, A6, -20-60. I sent the report already. I'm going to try clearing them, see if they come right back. Mode door feedback circuit shorted to battery. Let's do this. Special functions. Well, that's going to be for an HVAC module. We'll have to back out of that, but I'm going to take a look anyway. It will let me back out if I need to. I was working outside because there was no music, and then he moved all his stuff outside with his speaker. So now I'm back in my in bay 3. Not my bay anymore, it's just bay 3. Take your time. We got all the time in the world. Let's just express some opinions, talk about some stuff, and not accomplish anything. Okay, there we go. That's not what we wanted. Actuation test. Dimming, regulator, restrict door, all segments. AC, floor servo, left blend door, recirculation door. It is mad about some stuff. You know what I'm about to do? Disconnect the battery and reconnect it. I don't see a relearn procedure. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Man, that thing sounds like it's flexing the door. Floor servo position status. When I hear the noise, we'll see if these change. Yeah, it's changing it. Zero to 255. noise goes away. We're gonna have to do an investigation where we take that servo actuator off, see how the door feels. I am gonna try disconnecting the battery and plugging the battery back in real quick just to see if something happens with that, because there is no let's just do an on-demand self-test and see if that does something for it. I think that's just the way it just checks for current codes. Probably going to set a code for that actuator again. Mode actuator, mode actuator, mode actuator. It's mad at the mode actuator. So we're going to have to definitely dig into this thing, electrical diag stuff. It's not just a door recalibration thing. And we'll see what happens if they want to do all that stuff. It needs front brakes, needs a couple other little things, but ooh, that's annoying noise. That's why they unplugged it. Alright, disconnecting the battery did nothing. So he's going to talk to the customer. He's running around with like 3 red envelopes in his hand for waiting customers, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. I know this car's got metal-to-metal brakes. He's been checking it for someone. Alright, customer is interested in the repairs. I've tried calibrations and stuff. I pulled the actuator out. I'll show you guys what that looks like in a second. That's the connector on the actuator. And there's ways to run them. You can disconnect the HVAC panel, hook a 9-volt battery back probed into the connector, go into the actuator, and force the actuator to run yourself and see what it does. I don't like doing that. It's a last resort if you're having really serious problems. Normally on these, I see that the actuators are defective. You get bad aftermarket ones. Rare cases, but I have seen it. The HVAC panel's bad. And when the actuator sends a feedback signal saying, hey, I'm bottomed out, the module just keeps going because it's dumb. It doesn't know what's going on. What it looks to see is a voltage drop, and then it knows the door stopped. So if there's napkins in there, it might stop erroneously or whatever, but that's how it protects the case and the actuator from overstress. So it's not acknowledging that circuit. That's what those codes are. It's not acknowledging the stop point. It's very upset that it doesn't get the voltage drop or the feedback. So I think the quickest, easiest thing is to try another actuator. I also don't like the way the actuator looks. There's some damage. The customer's brother put it in for her, but you can see the damage on the, let's give you a light. Not sure if that shows up, but it's got a pretty good amount of damage. I want to put one in, see if it still does it. Then we're either going to try the 9-volt battery test or go with an HVAC panel. So you do what you can for a half an hour. So but I think we're on the right track. I think we'll probably be able to fix it with this, and one way to be sure is to try it. They're about 30 bucks, 35 bucks. We're not going to get one from Ford, so we'll see how that goes. All right, we popped the actuator in there and fixed it. The AC even works. It's nice and quiet. This is one of those things too, like I always say, diagnostic time is valuable, just as valuable as parts. So a $35 part versus charging someone another $150 in diagnosis time. I said, you know what, it's pretty easy to get to. Let's put one in there. It's fixed it. So I also found out too that you can pull that little stub out of the actuator, and the way the old one came apart, the other piece stayed in there. So this one, I took the whole piece out of the door assembly, the linkage assembly, and made sure to use that part from the new actuator as well. So this one's fixed. Nice and easy. Let's get something to eat. I said, Jimmy, put a serpentine belt kit on this Ford Flex after you check it for a leak and do a vehicle inspection. I said, most certainly I will. I really thought I was going to be doing the wheels and tires on that big Chevy truck out there for 0.8. But I guess not. Maybe I'm just assuming things incorrectly. It's possible. I do it. I'm only human. I already had my impact gun out ready to go when I got back from lunch. But we're doing this one. I'm guessing everything's going to happen from the bottom pretty much. But not a lot happening up here. I can get to the tensioner from here. Let's go into this. Only got 61,000 miles. I like these trucks, actually, or cars, whatever you want to call it. I think they're pretty cool looking. They got a lot of potential. Maybe to make it rear wheel drive or put a really, like a Coyote 5.0 in it. Just use the body. Anyway, let's see if we can do some work on it. Pretty clean car. It's like a 6, I guess. Right around there. 2011 or 2016. Holy moly, I didn't know they even made them that long. Let's lift it up and see what's leaking. It looks like I barely cut that bolt like I thought, but don't panic. It's not going anywhere. If it does go bang, then you know what it was. I want to know what the oil leak is, and the only thing I see with the oil drop on is the filter. And potentially, oh, something's happening up front. Never mind. We can wipe this off. We can make sure it's tight. Ah, yep. Something coming down the timing cover. It looks like coming from the side. Interesting. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's the timing cover or the dry at the top. It's not the valve cover. The timing cover gasket's leaking. He wanted to know that before I start on the belt part. So let's let him know. Pretty cut and dry. There's nothing else even by it. No solenoids or valves or VTECs or... So, you guys see better than me. I had you a foot above my head. You let me know in the comments if I was wrong and I missed something. Then we'll take this wheel off and this leather cover or whatever that is. You gotta look at the belt system. Once you get this wheel liner out of there, you can see almost 20% of it. A lot easier. It's quite an assortment of push pins and some screws. 5.5 millimeter head. There's 3 of them. The rest are all push pins. And then I can get to my belt and tensioner, I think. We'll see. It's right here in this box. What's the big deal? Super duper easy. I think it's like 0.8 or something like that. I glanced at it. I try not to pay too much attention anymore. I just do what I gotta do. Do what I'm asked. Vent to you guys a little bit, because I know you guys are good listeners, 99% of you, so let's get to work. I cleaned up the timing cover a little bit. I don't see anything to worry about. I said recheck next oil leak and see how it looks after I clean it off. I ran it for a little while. I didn't see any, I didn't leave a single drop on the ground, so just a little dampness. I wouldn't worry about it if it was my car. You start adding a quart or 2 oil between oil changes, yeah, you got a problem. You see little drops on the ground, or you know, like that Dodge Charger where the whole floor was soaking wet with oil. You definitely got an oil leak then. If it gets a little black and damp around a gasket but doesn't leave anything on the floor, not time to worry about it yet. I think it's 13s hold that tensioner to the block, but first I want to get that belt out of my way. I gotta lift it higher too. I might be short, but I'm not that short. There's like 8 millimeter head bolts holding that tensioner on. My goodness, Ford. Those engineers are way smarter than me, apparently, because I would have never guessed that. I didn't even bring an 8 millimeter socket with me, but my car's not far away. I'm not that lazy. I do need 2 hands. All right, you know what? Maybe we'll just show you the level of talent that I have here. I'm not trying to show off. I'm just saying, stuff's easy for me, depending on the job. Gotta be careful because the frame's right there. What I'll do is, one at a time, trying to make sure I can keep my ratchet and have it back when I'm done. Look, I'm even using a Ford magnetic tray. It just seems like it's right. Top one's easy. I can't see the other one, but I can put my finger on it. And I know there's 3, because I saw 3 in this guy over here. Sits in there like that. This might be a job for the long reach. I see it from under here, but not easily. And the long reach isn't even going to reach. I need an extra long reach. I make one like that. I would probably take it out the last half by hand, hopefully. Oh yeah, nice. Man, Ford's getting threads that are like the Japanese brands. You can actually unscrew them with your fingers after you turn it a couple turns. Now, I'm not going to say I seem happier because everything's better. I'm going to say I'm happier because I'm like a duck. Just rolls off your feathers. I clean that up because I know some of the kids watch. Uh-oh. Tried to snag my ratchet pretty quick on that one bolt. That's closest to the frame. I guess the frame's on a slight angle. Stop dragging my tool cart around. That's too many words. Stop dragging my cart around. I hope we're not replacing it because of oil on it. But I'm gonna clean up that area too. Let's see. Get it started on one of the easier bolts first. That way I can just pivot it into place and the other one should line up. There's the other one right up here. Oh, I can't see it, you can't see it. Finish tightening this thing up. We'll come back popping that belt on there. And that's as close as this is going to get to a new car. It needs some wiper blades and stuff, but everything else is new. Of course, we got to place our belt the right way. Very important. There is only 3 pulleys plus a tensioner, so 4, but not a lot of room. Now, watch your head, don't hit the caliper with your head. On your turkey. Fast and furious. Got a lot of drag racing going on in front of the shop today, but that was the first time I think I had the camera on with one of them. You guys heard me in the background, I didn't. It happens so often now. It's like smelling the chemical plant behind us. Get used to it. These push pins you can unscrew coming out, and they usually will unscrew. Sometimes you got to help them a little bit. They actually work pretty well. They don't stick very often. Some fender screws. This is not like the, what was it, the Durango or something? I put the radiator and heater hoses in. That one didn't have any wheel liners. They were gone. They were gone. The problem with that is it introduces all kinds of dirt, sand, water into everything that's behind the wheel well. Some cars it's just metal, but it wasn't on that one. But they didn't seem concerned about it, so I want to say there wasn't a push pin in here, but it should have. I'll put the wheel on and torque it, and this one's done. Oil's perfect. The only thing left now is to turn the cap around so it runs good. Last thing you want is to cause a misfire. Alright, this was done. Let's see if there's something else fun to do. I said fun to do. We got some Michael Jackson blaring in the background, so I'm gonna be quick. Got an induction service too, I didn't realize. Luckily I checked my paperwork, so I wasn't embarrassed. One thing I also noticed, it pays a half hour less now. They lowered the price, which is nice. It helps save people money. But it makes the conversation about increasing our hours awkward, but I can't explain it. I don't know how you pay mechanics less and expect their hours to go up. It just seems counterproductive, no? Am I just reading into it too much? This will take about 30 minutes or so. Clean the throttle body. I put the additive in the tank. This is a capless filler neck. So I had to use my special little funnel. So we're gonna let this run its course. Drain, flush, and refill engine oil? That's new. I never saw flush there before. That's my next ticket when I'm done. 2018 Subaru. She's a beauty. She's in way early for an oil change. I guess the last sticker said due to oil change in 150 days or 5,000 miles. It's been 1,000 miles and 150 days, so we're doing another oil change. I changed the sticker and I put the interval at 365 days because oil doesn't go bad in 150 days, and shouldn't take too long. Car's pretty nasty for 2018 or whatever it is. It smells, stained seats and stuff. Blech. But I don't see a lot of food or hardly any, so maybe we'll go 3, even though it probably should be a 2. What do you think? I'm trying to be nice. There you go. Now the ignition's off and everything. That's helpful. I don't kill the battery for him or her, whatever it is. Oh, let's do an oil change. I'll knock it out real quick. Oh, it's familiar though. Good drive. No quickie access panels on these. I thought that last one was going to be it. It was going to pop right out of there. Nope. Oh, there it is. There's the oil drains over here. Look. 14 millimeter. If it was my car, I'd cut a hole right here. But that's just me. It looks like there's actually one there. But you know what? Maybe I'm completely off base once again. Wrong again. I looked up real quick and saw some of these bolts. I didn't see this. There's a hole down there. Maybe it was right there. I don't know. Not a big deal either way. A little damage on the old drain plug, it looks like. Oh! Now I'm starting to understand the damage. Tell you what, it wasn't leaking and it didn't fall off. Wind. I had only a little warm, not too bad. I didn't run it too long. Only enough to drive it to the back lift, try to lift it on that one. Couldn't lift it. So I finished the induction service and then drove it over to this one while I was waiting for a tow truck in the parking lot. Yeah, it did run a while. I feel like I gotta fill this thing way too often. Someone use it when I'm not looking. You turkeys. Oh. The drain plug's right there, silly. The question is now, do I edit that out? Would I give Joe more ammo to criticize me? I'll probably let him criticize me. I enjoy it. It makes me laugh. Someone says, you dummy, you don't know what you're doing. You're right. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not gonna lie about it. Alright, a few push pins, tighten those 12mm bolts, make a little bit of noise, and we're good to go. Someone pulled up in a Maserati beeping the horn for someone to come out and see what he wants. They sent Jace out there to torque his wheels for him. That's what he was beeping the horn for. He wanted someone to run out there with a torque wrench and torque his wheels because he thinks the last guy left them loose. I don't understand people. I don't like being like that, but I don't like being disrespected, so you're always weighing those that situation, you know. I guess because he's driving a Maserati, it's a thing too, you know. If he was driving like a Camry or something. I don't know. You tell me in the comments. Someone beeps the horn, should you run out there to see what they need? Or is it disrespectful and they should go in the office? Well, very busy, not very productive day, but it wasn't terrible. I think I did like 6 hours today. Maybe 7.5 maybe. And I got the charger done, but that only took an hour this morning. That wasn't a big deal. We're wrapping it up. getting ready to close this place down. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Even though we didn't do a whole bunch, we didn't do anything really unusual or really difficult, or we just did a few easy jobs. Got some people back on the road, a couple of oil changes. Everyone's happy, making their way home. To me, it seems like the best place for the videos is between 30 and 50 minutes. But I don't want it to be boring either and just leave a bunch of footage in there of me walking around to a car, you know. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, tell me in the comments what you think the perfect length video is. More than anything though, I hope you'll torque the like button before you head out, and that I'll see you in another video, because you're awesome.